Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome, Hudson.
I've been wanting to make that intro in Bloxburg for the longest time, and I can't believe I just recorded it, but today I am going to be building Tony Stark's garage in Bloxburg. This has been an idea on my list for the past 2 years, and I finally was able to finish it. So today I'm going to be giving you guys a rundown of how I made everything in depth. So without further ado, let's just get started with the build. Okay, before I made this build, I actually made a Pinterest board for all the inspiration that I wanted to do it, and I also watched all 3 movies again and all the garage scenes just so I know exactly the layout of this garage, and I think it turned out exactly movie accurate. The only thing that is different is this entire garage has features from Iron Man 1, 2 and 3, so it's a mixture of like all different features, but right now I'm making this circle that shows the hologram at the end, and I love how it turned out. This is like where he tries on the suits and makes sure it like fits and stuff. So to make this I used a lot of basic shapes in carpet, and I also use a lot of vents in this build because the vents added so much detail. I also added some structural rods and I did some floating stairs in the build, and I just love how it turned out. I also wanted to add a light feature to make it glow a bit more, so I used these string lights and I colored them blue. Okay, now I'm on to the area that took the longest to do. This is the tables and the desks that he works on. I really wanted to create a round table because that's how it's like in the movies, but there wasn't proper round tables, so I decided to just use the counters in Bloxburg, and when you position them a certain way they start to have this curve on them, so I added some basic shapes onto it to add a bit more detail, and I just loved how them turn out. Now I am building the cabinets. So this build has a lot of cabinets. In all the inspiration pictures there's a lot of cabinets like spammed all around, so I decided to make my own custom ones because the one in Bloxburg's, they just don't fit the theme properly. Also, you're probably wondering, this video is very messy. It's because I just recorded some parts of the build because my computer was lagging quite a lot. I don't know why, but I got it fixed, so that is why this video is pretty messed up, and there's just a bunch of different builds around the whole video. Anyways, now I am working on the projector area. This is like the area of his desk where it shows all the blue screens everywhere, so I decided to make this custom little it's not a photo stand, it's like a screen stand, and I loved how this turned out. This was like one of my favorite things I built in this whole entire room, and it just turned out perfectly. And as you guys can see here, I am adding more rods to create more structure so I can add more screens. Here's when I added the decals just so I can get a rough idea of the shape, because I did make custom decals for this entire build, so I just wanted to make sure that the sizing was right and everything looked so good by the end. Now here's me adding in the decals. As you guys can see, I made a bunch of decals for this build. I also added a computer screen, which it turned out perfect. The size was amazing. And anyways, let's go on to the next area of the build. Next I am going to be building this area that is in the movie. It's basically the little kitchen area along with like a coffee machine, just a little area like that. This is the scene where he's like testing out the new Iron Man arm, and this area turned out so well. I just thought it was a bit smaller than it could have been, so I decided to make some custom counters because the normal ones were far too big, and I feel like the custom ones just turned out 10 times better, and I could get as much detail into them as possible. So I just love how this area turned out, and it's one of my favorite areas in the whole entire build. Then I decided to decorate the kitchen. I just placed a bunch of mugs and some cutlery because this area is meant to have a fridge and a sink. I managed to fit the fridge, but I couldn't fit the sink in because it's a custom counter, so you can't really put the Bloxburg sinks. So I just decided to add the dishes instead, and I feel like this turned out super well, and I love how it turned out. Okay, now I am working on the most iconic scenes in the whole movie. This is like his little table that can create holograms of the builds that he's builds. No, it's kind of like his inventions, kind of. So I really wanted to add this into the build, but I couldn't find a space, and I saw this one scene and I was like, oh wait, I do have space for this. So I used the huge light box and I sized it just so it has a nice glow to it, and by the end of the build I also added a bunch of hidden candles and colored them blue just so it glows a lot more. I also went onto ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT to make me an Iron Man hand, so that's what it gave me. So it's not an image from Google, it's all custom decals that I used for this build. I honestly love how this area turned out. I just feel like the hand could have been a bit more less transparent because it was very clear, but at the end it turned out super well and I just loved this area. It is time for the bit you guys have been waiting for this entire video. It is the Iron Man suits. The only thing is the clip has not saved. That's because my computer was really lagging when I was recording this build, but I managed to fix it now. But anyways, this is a little clip that I managed to get of me building it. I also took some pictures whilst I was building it, so here are them now. But anyways, in the movie, if you guys haven't seen it, Iron Man 1, he builds the Iron Man suit out of tin in a cave. So I decided to colour one of them all grey, and then the other ones, the colour gradually comes into the normal suit. So that is what it was like my inspiration. So that's why this one is going to be all grey, because this is supposed to be like the first suit. I wanted to actually make the first Tin Man suit, but there was just not enough plot data and my money was too low, so I couldn't do that. But anyways, this is how the suits turned out. These are literally my favourite build ever. Like, I can't believe I was able to pull this off. And here is me also assembling all the suits. So I made this custom like display case. I just use basic shapes, and I also use some transparent cubes along with LED lights to create a glowing effect. And I just love how this turned out. Here's me just assembling it all, and it just looked so good. The only thing is, in the movie the display case is a lot longer and he has like about 10 suits, but I was only able to fit 4, so plus it was 45k for one Iron Man suit, so my budget was going really low. But anyways, that is basically all the Iron Man suits. So now it is time to go on to the final tour of the build. The final tour for the Tony Stark garage, and I'm so excited to show you guys. So we're going to head down the stairs just like the movie, and we're entered into the garage. I just love it so much. It's so movie accurate. If you guys watch the movies, you guys will understand. So for a little bit of context, this garage is the 3 movies combined, because the garage kind of changes layouts in movie Iron Man 1, 2 and 3. So there's just features from all the movies. So first we're going to start off in the little kitchen area. This is where he sits down and he just watches TV, and he gets a drink of coffee and stuff and does the dishes. Also, did you guys see the little image that I added here? I know, so sad. Anyways, so in the actual movie, they've got this exact chair, and I can't believe Bloxburg actually has it. Like, it's exact. So I decided to add that. And yeah, this is just, I love how this area turned out. So now we're going to head on to this bit. This is the area where he like tries on the new prototypes and stuff. If you guys seen the movies, you guys will understand. Also, the blue lighting, it makes everything glow. And we just got the image of the hand right there. Okay, now we're going to head on to this area. You guys didn't see me build this because the clip decided to delete, but I'm going to give you an in-depth tour right now. So before he did the Iron Man suits, he used to like fix up cars and motorbikes. So we've got the motorbike here. This is actually in the movies, this exact scene right here. So right here we've got a bunch of the electricity and just a bunch of pipes, and I just love how it turned out. It just looks very garagey, if that makes sense. And then over here we just got a bunch of junk, I guess, because he does like make the suits out of junk. So then here's like another desk area, and we've also got another screen up here, and then we have another bunch of junk on a shelf. And I just love how it turned out. Like, the detail in this area, I just love it. I also added this wall art. This is actually just from Bloxburg, but I thought it looks kind of like Iron Man's heart. I know that doesn't make sense, but you know. Okay, now we're going to head on to this area. So this area was built before he added this circle area. So this is from movie 1, I'm pretty sure. So I decided just to keep it in because it just feels right, you know. So this is where he used to like try on the suits and stuff. Then he would have like the camera, and he would have like projectors and stuff just watching him. Oh, I've zoomed in quite too much. So you guys can see the blue glowing area, which is so nice. I've also got just a tripod area. Okay, now we're going to head on to the cars. So this is like the cars he used to like, he's obsessed with like supercars, I guess. So he's got the cars, and this is meant to be the garage where he drives the cars out of, but I decided to change it and make a very tall tower so you can fly up with the suit just like that. So it's a pretty good angle from here because you guys can see the blue lights that leads upwards, and I just thought that was a really cute detail. Okay, now we're going to head on to this area. This is like the best part of the entire build, so this is my favorite area. So we're going to start off over here. Here's like another workshop. It's just another bunch of junk on the tables, and then over here we've got more tables. It's just some drills and stuff. And then here is the circle area. This is where he tries on all the suits, and I also added a hologram around it, which it just looks so good. It's a custom decal, but I decided to add some glowing lights underneath, if you guys can maybe see. Yep, here's the glowing light, and it just makes the hologram glow, and I just love how it turned out. Now, this is the iconic desk from that one meme. Yep, that meme. So this is a desk. I decided to make custom decals. I've even got the sunglasses. So I've just got a bunch of Iron Man screens and stuff, which I thought looked so good for this build. I just love how it turned out. Anyways, this desk is definitely the cleaner one, very minimalistic, but the other ones are like pretty messy because that's how it is in the movies. So this is the desk. I just love how it turned out. Now we're going to head on to my favorite bit ever, the Iron Man suits. I cannot believe I was able to pull this off. So as you guys know, in the movies he starts off with the tin one that he built in a cave, and then it's slowly transformed into the main one with the blue glowing heart. So I just love the suits, and the display for them is exactly like the movies. So I cannot believe I was finally able to finish this build. If you guys would like to see me build any more movie sets, please let me know, because this build was so much fun to build and edit the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Goodbye!